Hello and welcome to Number Properties. For this lesson, you will need addition, multiplication, and division of fractions. There are several mathematical properties that can always be applied to solving certain fraction equations. They can help us solve really complex equations. These number properties are associativity, commutativity, distributivity, and inverses, which are the additive and the multiplicative inverse. Let's take a look at each one more closely. The associative property means that if three numbers are added or multiplied, they can be evaluated in any order. It applies only when the expression contains three or more numbers that all must be added or multiplied together. This property does not apply to subtraction or division. It also does not apply to expressions where there is a mix of addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. For addition, this means that for any numbers a, b, and c, a plus the sum of b and c is equal to the sum of a and b plus c. For multiplication, this means that for any numbers a, b, and c, a times the product of b and c is equal to the product of a and b times c. Here's an example for addition. First, following BODMAS, we find that 1/2 plus 2/3 equals 7/6. Then, 7/6 plus 1/3 is equal to 9/6, which reduces to 3/2. On the other side of the equation, following BODMAS, we begin with 2/3 plus 1/3 equals 1. Then we add 1 plus 1/2 equals 3/2. So both sides of the equation are equal and addition is associative. Here's an example for multiplication. First, following BODMAS, we find that 1/2 times 2/3 is equal to 2/6, which reduces to 1/3. Then 1/3 times 1/3 is equal to 1/9. Then, on the other side of the equation, following BODMAS, we begin with 2/3 times 1/3 equals 2/9. Then, we multiply 2/9 times 1/2 equals 1/9. So, both sides of the equation are equal, and multiplication is associative. Commutativity means that two numbers can be moved around without a change in the final value. This applies to addition and multiplication, but not to subtraction and division. For addition, this looks like a plus b equals b plus a. And for multiplication, this looks like a times b equals b times a for any numbers a and b. Here's an example for addition. 1/2 plus 2/3 is equal to 7/6, and 2/3 plus 1/2 is equal to 7/6. So both sides are equal and addition is commutative. For multiplication, here's another example. 1/2 times 2/3 equals 2/6, which reduces to 1/3. 2/3 times 1/2 is equal to 2/6, which reduces to 1/3. So both sides are equal and multiplication is commutative. Subtraction and division, on the other hand, are not commutative. So a minus b is not equal to b minus a. Let's look at an example. 3 minus 2 is equal to 1, but 2 minus 3 is equal to -1. 1 and -1 are not equal, so 2 minus 3 is not equal to 3 minus 2. For division, a over b is not equal to b over a. For example, 2 over 1 is equal to 2, but 1 over 2 is 1/2, and 2 and 1/2 are not equal. So subtraction and division are not commutative. Distributivity is a property that means that a product with a sum is a sum of products. This does not apply for division or subtraction, only addition and multiplication. This means that c times a plus b is equal to c times a plus c times b. Let's look at an example. We have that, following BODMAS, 1/2 plus 1/4 is equal to 3/4, and 2 times 3/4 is equal to 3/2. Then, on the other side, we have that 2 times 1/2 is equal to 1, and 2 times 1/4 is equal to 1/2. So 1 plus 1/2 is equal to 3/2. Both sides are equal. Inverses are our last property. Inverse properties are helpful in that they can help simplify expressions. The additive inverse property states that any number added to its inverse will be equal to 0. For any number a, the additive inverse of a is -a. We change the number sign from positive to negative or negative to positive. That way, a plus its inverse is like a minus a, which is equal to 0. For example, 3/4 plus its additive inverse, -3/4, is like 3/4 minus 3/4, which is equal to 0. On the number line, the additive inverse of, say, 7 is like drawing the arrow in the opposite direction starting from the origin, -7. The multiplicative inverse property states that any number multiplied by its multiplicative inverse will have a product of 1. The multiplicative inverse of a number is its reciprocal, so reversing the numerator and the denominator. For example, the number 2/3 has the inverse 3/2, which, when you multiply them, yields 1. Let's do an example problem. It asks, which of the statements below is incorrect? This looks like a long problem, but if you use the properties of numbers, it'll be shorter. Pause the video and try it yourself, and then we'll go through the answers together. Here's the right answer. It's D. Let's see why. First, A demonstrates the associativity of addition. So the equation is correct, and A is not the answer to the problem. Then, option B demonstrates distributivity. So the equation is right, and B is not the answer. Option C demonstrates the definition of addition, so it's correct, and C is not the answer. Option D implies that division is distributive, which is not true. So D is incorrect, and D is our answer. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, email us or WhatsApp us.